Hello, we are here live with Ale. Hey Ale, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, John? How are you doing?
Doing well, thanks. Ale played back in season 10 and coming back for unfinished business. Before we get to talking about that, just give us a little bit about yourself.
Yes. So, my name is Alejandro Su. Um, Ale, pronounce him his, el del suyo. I'm currently in Iowa City, Iowa, but in a week I'll be in Philadelphia. I will say Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I am getting a new job, obviously. So I'm going to be the assistant director at Temple's housing department, or one of the assistant directors. I'm going to be working with resident assistant hiring and training. So
Awesome. So tell us your story of hearing about Survival Challenge. So a couple years ago, where'd you hear about it and what were your initial thoughts when you heard about it?
so I heard about it way before I applied, actually. So the first time that I heard about it was from Bryce, who played a bunch of seasons ago, um, five or six, I think. He was five or six. So I heard about it from him because we played an online game. He was like, "Oh, you would love this. You'll be so good." And I was like, "Yeah, right, dude." I am familiar with both of them from um, online games. So I watched their live, like the whole thing live. And I was like, wow, this is actually really cool because I had never watched any of like the streams or the episodes. I had just seen pictures. But I watched that season and then the season after, and I was like, oh, I need to apply. I actually applied the first time for season nine, and I was an alternate for season nine. Um, because I knew Cam, I believe it was, or something like you sent an email. But I applied for that. Um, and yeah, but that's how I found out about it. And I was like, as soon as I saw the live stream, I was like, done. Like I need to do this immediately. It has to be a thing. Um, but yeah.
Okay, that's exciting. Okay, so once you were cast on your first, you got the email from John. Was there any funny or interesting stories that happened leading up to your initial participation for season 10? What did you do planning wise? Anything funny that, for your first stab at SE?
Well, I had to explain to my my bosses why I was taking time off during the summer because our summers are pretty busy in housing because we're preparing for like the new students. So I had to be like, hey, so I'm gonna be doing this thing. It's like Survivor. I explained to them, show them some live streams and stuff. So that was kind of like everyone was like, you're doing what? And I think people don't realize that I really do like camping and like they all know that I'm super, super competitive. So I think they were like, "Oh, this kind of makes sense," but also like you're sleeping where and like you're doing what. So it was very confusing for them to see me like that, just because they had never seen that side of me. And I think just in order to prepare, I actually like I exercised a lot. It was really great motivation because I was always like, "Oh, I need to like get back in gym, get back in gym." And then I rewatched episodes and live shows. I was like, "I really need to like actually do that, right? Like, there's absolutely no way that I will be able to do anything if I'm not like significantly more physically fit than I am." So, I just trained for like months leading into Survival Challenge. Didn't help me a lot, clearly. I did train a lot.
So fast forward, you arrive in Macomb, right? And you step out into that field for the first time. Talk about what's going through your mind. Give us a picture of what that felt like for you.
Yeah, so the first thing obviously is the check-ins and they're like emptying your bag. And I you could actually see in the episodes that Phil created, like they dumped my entire bag and all my things like spread everywhere. And I was like, oh fuck, this is horrible. Like I had to pick up things from the floor. They were asking me about like my knee brace and stuff like that. So I had to like do a lot of that. And I just kept getting anxious because I was like, everyone's gonna think that I'm so dumb right now because I look so dumb right now, right? And I remember just looking around and being like, trying to like like see who else is there and like if uh anyone was like a familiar face or if anyone like caught my attention or if anyone was looking at me. And I remember just being really anxious because I had hyped it up so much in my mind, And I had played a game before and I did really bad. I go out with an idol and I was just not good. So I was like, oh my God, I cannot be like that. I cannot be like that. And I just kept like looking around. And then the last time we had been in a circle in like my last like game at the beginning, and you had to stand in like in front of each other. And I was one of the last people to arrive because obviously I'm normally late to things. So I was literally just looking at everyone's backs. And I remember being like, fuck, like I cannot even like turn around, like make eye contact with him. I'm just like standing here staring at, I'm pretty sure it was Polo's back. And so it's just like, great, I don't know anything. And then you step into the field. I remember like the rush of like, oh my God, this is happening right now. Um, the funniest thing though is you tell us like, oh, like explain it, like you can do this and you can do this, or you can do solo. And the first thing is like, obviously I'm not going solo. Like that's so stupid. Like, why would I do that? But then when you told everyone, I'm a very indecisive person, and I was like, okay, so I ran to like the one that was just like the rings and stuff. Even though I wanted to go to like the big the boulder that Taylor actually did, I wanted to do that one because I was like, God, that sounds so fun. It's such a good way to like prove myself immediately. But I saw Devontae and Nina. I went there and I asked them, and they were like, "Oh, we don't have any more spaces." Spoiler alert: they did have spaces. They didn't realize it though. So they like ran off. And then I was like, okay, so I like turned around, and then I think Taylor's group was the last one to leave that station or something. They were already leaving, and I was like, fuck. And I remember turning around and looking, and it was just all the volunteers and John staring back at me. And I was like, shit, like there's literally no one else here. Like there's nothing to do. And I froze for like 5 seconds and I was like, I think I even like cussed out and I was like, fuck. And I just like ran down like I guess Champagne was still there, but I didn't see her because I was so panicked that I just like ran down and just like bolted. And I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be last. So I mean I made it pretty fast, right? Like I got there I think sixth or something like that. So I ran really, really fast. But I remember just like that panic of like, I'm already screwing up, like it just started, I'm already messing around. Um, so it was like a lot of like excitement and nerves and just like panic, mostly panic. Yeah, so it was awesome. Yeah.
So
Now,
putting placement aside, what are some of your favorite memories or challenges from your season?
so challenges, we lost this. Challenges, I really liked um the at swap when we had to like the one that handed, the one that we had to hold away and before launching the things, because that is the challenge that I actually practiced. I would go to the gym and just like put a falcon away and just like hold it for as long as I could. So I practiced that one. So when it came up, I was like, oh, I'm so ready. And at that point I was really sick. And I remember your team put me and Beth thinking that we were going to be the ones that were going to drop. That's what I thanks, Taylor. Thank you. Yeah, you were like, oh, this are the two that are gonna like drop it for us. And we didn't. We actually were the ones that struggled the least out of like all the pairs. No offense to my other pairs, I love all of you, but like we were the only ones that were like pretty confident holding it. And I feel like even though we lost, and I also like it was also embarrassing because I played basketball and I'm pretty good at that, and I got zero of all the looks into the basket. I remember hearing John being like, "This person got one in, and this person got one in," and I was like, when am I getting one in? Like this is horrifying." But I'm really good at holding, which is the part that I was really excited about. Um, it was just like so good to like prove to myself like I have the strength. People like truly tried to set me up for like failure and thought that I was going to go out because like of my sickness. And I didn't, right? Same with like the rowing challenge where I was like grabbing the flag, like we got first place. And I also like I remember Bobby being like, you should set out because you're not feeling good. And I was like, fuck, if I set this one out, like I'm done, right? Like there's no way that like that's gonna be the excuse the entire time of like, oh, we have to like play around your sickness and we need to do that. And I was like, nope, I'm the tallest. I'm gonna be there. And I was like, if you don't want me to row, even though I'm a really good rower, like I'm good. I can just like lay down and grab it. Like, why would we not put the tallest? And like I think winning that one and in general, like a lot of the challenges where I feel like I was able to prove myself this tight where I was physically, I really enjoyed. But I think also like our first night together, Taylor, I had a lot of fun, like building the camp. I remember like I took charge in both of the camps that we built actually because I really enjoy like I guess putting the top on because that's building the camp for us. It's we didn't like do anything else. Like I like doing that. I felt I really like the nights. I think a big part of my personality is I'm a very protective person and I'm someone who takes care of other people. And every single night, like the first night with the three of you, I felt like I needed to like and then maybe this is some like internalized like machismo and stuff. Like I felt like I had to take care of the three of you, right? Because I was like, oh, like I'm the only dude. Like I need to make sure like they're comfortable, right? And like I remember I took like the most uncomfortable spot in the shelter. And I was like, this is fine. Like I want them to be super comfortable. I remember waking up a couple of times and just like asking like, is everyone okay? Then the second night, like Devontae was like really cold, so I gave him my jacket, I gave him a blanket. And then I did the same for Polo on like the third night. So I think that I really enjoyed those moments, even though it didn't help me with my sickness, giving everyone my blankets. Um, but I think
We only
it,
have a minute or so left. We could keep talking forever. I wanted to ask you, I know you got a lot of other things going on in real life, but have you had time to start thinking about unfinished business and what are your thoughts?
yeah, I think there's obviously like a lot of nerves and stuff like that, right? Like, I'm sure the entire cast is gonna feel that, right? Um, I think there's a lot of like I want to be able to show that I was season 10 had one of the strongest casts, if not the strongest cast, but obviously I'm biased. And I think getting right, getting chosen over a lot of other men who I know um wanted this spot comes with a lot of pressure of like I need to be able to represent because I got it up over them and I want to make sure that I am my best self, that I represent our season, right? Like there's a lot of pressure there. I want to be able to like my body to handle SC to make it far. I want to like make to that merge and be able to just play the game the way that I would have been able to had I not been like in a hole their place mentally and physically. So
Well, to close this out, then use if you to use one word to describe how you're going to approach this season or this game, what would it be?
honest.
Hey, we
I
are
want
here with Nicole Johnston from season 10 and Taylor co-hosting with me as always. And Nicole, how you doing tonight? Tell us a little about yourself.
I'm Nicole. I am forever 40. If you want my actual age, just watch me in a challenge. It will give it away. I am from Minnesota, and I am an elementary school principal.
All right, Nicole, let's take it back to season 10, going back a few years, not too many though. So, how did you originally hear about Survival Challenge and what were your initial thoughts and what made you go, yeah, that's for me?
I don't think I ever said, yeah, that's for me. But I heard about it on social media. So whatever social media you guys are doing, you're getting the word out there because I am not a reality TV person. I am a Survivor person. Survivor is the only show, the only reality show that I live and die for. And honestly, it was your challenges, you guys. Your challenges are so epic and look realistic that I just wanted to do the challenges and see if I could physically do it and kind of have fun with that.
So you get the word that you're in the cast and you've got some time between then and when you hit the field in Illinois. And what went on? What did you do to get ready, if anything, or any fun stories leading up to you getting to Illinois?
You know, I had a 7-hour solo drive by myself. So that was 7 hours that probably over 14 times I wanted to turn my minivan back around and go home because I don't know what I'm doing. I am not an LRG person. I was turning 40 and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go into my 40s with a bang and do something for me. And then here I was on this field looking at John like a idiot and like what the hell did I get into? So I had no thoughts, John. I am the type of person that just does something and then I think about it after and I'm figure it out after. So I'm kind of impulsive that way. I just jumped on and I was like, let's do this. Yeah, sounds fun. And then I showed up and I was like, oh.
Well, I can probably tell you my thoughts of what I thought about when I stepped out on the field. This is not about me. I want to hear, can you paint the scene for us? What was going through your mind when you stepped out into that lovely little parking lot of SC and got all checked in and lined up?
I won't forget it. I pulled my minivan up on the road and I started brushing my teeth. And of course, I am eyeballing everyone. I'm like, are they playing? Who are they? Who are they? How old are they? Are they walking fast? Do they look athletic? Like I'm sizing everyone up. And people are like, stay in your van. Don't get out. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then they said it was my turn. Like, come park your car. And here's me, like mom of 3. I'm on my own and I drive my minivan into this field and I'm like honking the horn and like hanging my head out. I was like, hey, everyone, straight ass faces. I was like, oh no, this is serious. This is like not a party. Like, this is so dead ass serious. And then you guys like strip searched us. I got in this line and I was told I couldn't look behind me. And all I kept on thinking is, I'm in the first line. There's like 4 lines behind me. And this is unfair because everyone's sizing me up, but I can't turn around and look. So I remember being like hearing someone talk and I made an excuse to turn around and someone's like, hey, turn forward. I was like, oh, this is real. This is serious. Like, I won't forget it. It was so serious. And then John walked out like this god and just was like, survivors go. No warning. And then I heard this utter shriek behind me, like someone had died after John said survivors go. And I just remember turning around and seeing who is now Bobby, like standing there like, ah, I don't know what to do. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to be that guy. And I just like took off.
That was the
So-
description
Get it.
of walking from out into that. Yeah.
So an awful lot happened from that moment over the next couple of days, but can you give us just some highlights of your favorite memories from being out there, whether it's challenges or anything else? Just give us a couple of your favorite things.
You know what? My favorite thing is that it's such a social experiment in such a short amount of time. So you remember first impressions and you remember them so well because they're only a couple days prior. And so it's fun to see with castmates or on your own. Oh, when I first saw you, like, oh, when I first saw Taylor, I was like, oh, she's so happy. Like, she can't ever be in a bad mood. And then I slept by her on night 2, and I was like, I'm going to cut her. She won't stop snoring. She's yelling at Devontae for just like humming in his sleep. I was like, she's actually not happy. Like, and then there's Phil, and he's got such a twinkle in his eye. I'm like, oh, he probably doesn't lie to anyone. And Phil would stab you in the back and like wink at you, and we'd all be like, okay, Phil. So it was fun to me to see these first impressions and then see how they played out, because you just get to know these humans so well in such a short amount of time. But you remember all of those first impressions. Like Beth, I was like, oh, a mom like me. And then she was like such a fighter on the challenge field that I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And then, you know, there's me and my first impressions, right, Taylor? I'm just trustworthy. I don't make moves. I'm just here for the experience, you know? And so like Taylor's impressions of me really panned out. Not a player at all. I'm just here for the fun.
Public service announcement. I apologize to Devontae for smacking him on that second night when he was humming in his sleep. Anyway,
Because Taylor sawed logs for hours, and Devontae was just like, and she was like, bam, we are not snoring tonight. And I'm like, bitch, you just snored for like 4 straight hours on top of me because it was pouring. But yeah, those are my favorite moments.
Oh.
Like the non-planned game moments of relationships of human bonding. It's so
Speaking
fun to me.
challenges, though, trying to get back on track. Do you have any favorite challenges, and are there any that you're hoping to participate in or not save?
My favorite challenges are the ones where you are working as a team and you really get to see people's problem solving and communication come out, not just individually, but also as a team. So my favorite challenges, and that's easy for me to say because I was on Tatsuya, shout out. And so we won a lot of challenges. So it was fun to just have that camaraderie and that celebration together. So any challenge where there's multi-steps where you're working as a team were my favorite.
So season 10 ends and you hop back in the minivan, right? And you've got the long drive back. And during that and the time since, what do you feel like you learned about yourself or connections that you made that still stay with you after the game?
Something I learned about this game is that I am not necessarily cut out for it or as tough as I thought I was. And I'm not talking physically. I'm not talking physically. You get so connected to people that it's so easy to sit on your couch and be like, I'm going to cut that person, or I don't care, I'm here to win. But then you get so invested in these humans who are strangers. And so that was hard for me to see Bobby get voted out and be devastated. See Ale so sick, but want to be there so bad. My heart, I can't turn off my heart, you guys. And so that I'm not as mentally strong of taking the people out of the game. That's really hard for me. That is what I learned. I thought I could just go there and be like, I don't know these people. And then you sleep next to a snoring woman and then all of a sudden you love her. I don't know. I'm not mentally as strong as I thought I was.
Yes, John, if you did not know, Nicole's my survivor wifey. But anyway, enough about that. Let's jump ahead. We are about 60 days out, Nicole, where you're about to put yourself back out there in Macomb. What are your thoughts as we get closer to unfinished business? Give us a little peek behind the curtain of what's going through your mind.
I feel like the not cool kid at the lunch table because there's such a group of survival challenge people that know each other so well. I've never played a game going into it where I know the cast and where the cast knows each other so well. Or not everyone. Like I feel like I said, I'm like the kid at the lunch table by themselves. I feel like there's a cool group of kids who are playing in the same game as me, and I feel so intimidated by that. So that is just a new element. I like going in and no one knowing me and no one knowing each other. I just think it's going to be fascinating how it all plays out.
It's
You
like
guys have your work cut out for you.
it's gonna be a good season. And then to wrap this all up with a nice little bow, we have a bonus question. All right. If you could describe how you're gonna tackle this season or how you want to play it with one word, no explanation, what would it be?
No explanation.
No
That's not
explanation.
me, you guys. That's
Just
not
give
me.
just one word of how you want to tackle the season or play it or how you want it to go. No explanation. That's two.
Fun.
Okay.
Two. Okay, John, this is what got me in trouble. I didn't follow directions. Okay, one word. Endurance.
Okay. There we go. We got there. Back to you, John.
Let me